So you're going to have to put up with me again for the commentary on this one. I think, well, this is definitely the tie of this round. This is obviously the winner's side, round 3. The defending champion, money-making Lakin. And he absolutely crunched that first break, and he had a tough first shot there, and he's unlucky. He's unlucky where the cue ball's finished, and he's also unlucky that the yellow's gone in. Because it will still be an open table if he doesn't pot a ball. The one below the black, I don't know if he can clip that back to the right corner, maybe a bit too thin. He's just going to drop onto this. He's already asked him if it's touching. John Rowe is actually a really good player, and I thought it was a big prize for this tournament at the start. He's favourite to win this match. He was 4-7, maybe. Lakin's another one of the players that I do like watching. I know he is a character, and he's one of the people where you sort of can't help but like him. I don't really know him, to be honest, but some of the stuff that he comes out with and the way that he is definitely a character, and he's definitely a very good player. He hits the ball well, and he does make the finishes look very easy. Considering he flushed the break and the balls were in the open, he potted a couple off the break, and then he potted a couple with his second shot. They were a little bit tricky, especially now he's potted one of the yellows and got the cue ball there. I don't think the yellow that's just to the left of the spot there, I don't think it goes in the corner, so I think he's playing a cross double. Don't know if he can get past or through the gap to pot the yellow to the top corner. He's just having a look at it, it must be tight. Answer to that is no. So played a safety shot, and I think it's a clever little one. He's kept him off the one on the top cushion. See there, Craig's just tapped the table, and he's pushed the yellow over the middle. That really, wherever he leaves the cue ball, he's going to leave him some sort of shot on it. I like that shot. That's a great shot. What about that? That's a brilliant shot. Especially the fact that he played it so hard. I know obviously he got the cue ball onto the top cushion, but he still had to get that right. And obviously had the yellow have not have gone in, it could have gone anywhere. That's finished Twix in betweens. That's right in the middle. Right in the middle of potting it in the middle in the corner. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh. Oh. Well, even though that's the first frame, those sort of shots, they do hurt. This is the shot, the ball off the ball. Look how hard he plays this. And the reason why he played it hard like that with a little bit of running side is to obviously get the cue ball this end of the table and sort of half deserved that for that shot. That's absolutely filth because he's flushed the break. Cue ball's got kicked all over the place. Pinballed into the corner. The last 30 seconds there for John have been a little bit of a nightmare, to be honest. And I know it's only early in the match, but a couple bits of luck like that can have an effect. He just needs to make sure that he tries to stay focused. This was the ball that he wanted to be his last ball, the one that he's closest to. That's the way that he would have planned the finish, but he's going to have to take it now. He's contemplating taking the one into the right middle, bridging over it, but I wouldn't. I'd play the one over the corner, and he is. Just needs to get straight on the one down the rail. He has the option of taking the one down the rail second to last and then leaving the one that's in the middle of the table until last and stunning down. He doesn't have to leave the one down the rail till last. I think he could have just topped that in, topped through to the middle pocket, then took the one down the rail second to last and just screwed back 3 inches and then potted the one in the middle and stunned down for the black into the right corner. To get on it here, he's going to have to go 4 times across and land on the yellow into the right middle. He's managed to hold it, but I'm not sure. Not sure what angle he's got. That's an absolutely great shot he's played there. I'm not sure he's played it on the outside of the yellow, of the red like that. I think he's played to probably hit the red at best. Didn't quite get enough side on, has come inside it, but either way he's on it. The thing with Lakin that I like as well is that, okay, obviously he's run out of position there and he was a bit loose with the cue ball, but you know, he doesn't mope around, he doesn't sort of stand there huffing and puffing for 5 minutes because he's played a bad shot. He just sort of gets on with it, and if he makes it, he makes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And although that's only 2-0, I think the way that it's been 2-0 with him flicking the black the first frame and then John getting a horrendous kick the second frame, it does hurt slightly more than if Lakin had just cleared both on the break. He's revving up to this one. Oh, check this out. He's potted 3 yellows and I'm not even sure he can see one. Maybe you can. Maybe you can pot the one into the right corner. See there, he just gets down and that's it. Ooh. But you know, obviously he was unlucky where the red came around the table and sat in front of the cue ball there. But you know, he didn't sort of moan about it too much. He just was like, right, this is a shot I've got. I have to pot this yellow to win the frame, and just gets down and plays it. Yes, he's missed it, but he didn't big it up to be bigger than it actually was. I do think that makes a big difference.
Good pitch, right? Like that one, son? You like that one, boy?
I've just been joined in the commentary box by Jez. We go back a long way from the England junior days. So welcome, Jez.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Nice to be in the commentary box with you, mate. And,
yeah.
What's going on here then? It's 2-0 to Craig, and John's on the finish.
Yeah, well, it's 2-0 to Craig, but that doesn't just tell us. Oh, not sure about this one.
He's played a slack shot there.
Just decelerated, and because the table plays so fast, you're scared of sort of hitting that, and then because you're scared of over hitting it, you sort of decelerate and end up there.
Good
yeah,
pot.
Good pot. He struck it well, but yeah, obviously it's 2-1, and the first frame, Craig played a great shot where he played a ball and off a ball, and then played a little bit of a loose positional shot and landed in between on the black. Ended up missing the black and flicking it in the middle. John then broke off the next frame, made a ball, and the cue ball got kicked into the corner from nowhere.
Ooh.
So he'd have been devastated, to be honest, with the way that the first 2 frames went. So he'll be happy to get that one on the board. And Lakin was unlucky there, to be fair, as well. He broke off, potted 3 yellows. The red came around the table and sat on top of the white and left him a really tough first shot. So
good black to settle himself into the match.
yeah, and it's nice, and it's a pot like a ball like that, especially early on, because it does settle you down.
Get one on the board. Good break by John, but there's just one little difficulty down in the bottom left area.
just going to say, like, I can't remember last time I sort of watched a match of John, but he's got a big break.
Yeah, he's got a good break, mate.
Both the breaks he's hit there. He's absolutely flushed them, and he's hitting them quite hard.
Yeah, he hits them really solid.
Obviously, although he's got a problem, as you said, in this bottom left corner, he has got options to get into him. He's got options of the ball over the middle. If he gets pretty straight on the red, he can top down.
Is it a possible shot now to play the free ball plant? Would he make it? Because he would drop naturally onto the awkward one.
I think it's thin, isn't it? I think he's got to catch the second red really thin to make the plant. What about clipping the yellow into the middle and maybe disturbing it with the cue ball? He's left the angle to get into it now.
Yeah, he's got a chance. But I looked up at the table and I think it was a dead set plant, to be fair. It don't quite look the same on the TV screen. But John's seen his route and we'll see how it plans out.
I think he's left this angle to drop this in and disturb it with the cue ball, and then to guarantee leave himself. As you can see there, it's not dead set. It is offset slightly to the knuckle. He would have to catch the red thin to make it.
Yeah.
It's a good shot.
Oh, he played it very well. Great shot.
Not complete gimmies just yet. He can top forward and play on the one down the rail next if he wants, and then he's just got to make sure that he gets on the black from the one over the hole. That's why he's decided to play on the one over the hole next and screw back. This table is quick. It's one of them where you can't quit on it, but he's played this well.
Played it very well. Good shot.
Oh, wow. I butchered that one a little bit. He tried to punch it back. He tried to play like a punch rather than just play a little soft screw. He sort of tried to bang it back, which obviously makes the pocket play a little bit tighter, but I can't believe the way he's played that.
Sorry, yeah, Gaz, I missed that shot.
He played it as like a punch stun rather than like a soft screw, which allows you to hit it softer.
Yeah.
Lakin's just flapped his hand up in the air there as though maybe he's left him a little swerve around it. I don't think he's left him on it, but I think he's definitely left him a little swerve.
Yeah, I fancy him to pot this. He's going to have a tricky black, but I do fancy John to make this shot. Yeah, but now does he cut it or does he top bag it, Gareth?
I don't think he can cut it, can he? Or can he? Oh, he can actually. I'm right behind it. He's got a big pocket actually off the red.
There, it is a big pocket, but the white could glance the red, maybe going off. Either way, it's close to an off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if he gets the black off the red, he could go close to hitting the other red. I think if he pots it direct, he won't touch the red.
No. Yeah. If he hits it thick, there's a chance of white
yeah,
might hit the red.
If he hits it thick, which means he's going to play it off the red, the black off the red, then I think you're right. I think he is going very close to sliding in off the other red.
But he looks nailed off if he takes top bag.
I'm sitting right behind this, and I think he can just play this plain ball.
Let's go in middle bag.
I think you can just clip this in plain ball.
Yeah.
Without touching the red.
I think he'll be all right. He's always down the bottom bag.
Oh my God, it's all happening for him.
Well, I've never seen that. That's one pocket we didn't call.
Well, you can't obviously legislate for that, and you've got to obviously just pot the black, avoid the red like he did, and obviously if that happens, you can't really do anything about that. It was actually a good pot.
Ouch.
He'll be absolutely wounded with
He
the
will
start
be
of this
wounded with that.
match has gone.
Yeah, got it. Anyway, a good break off there by John. And he can redeem himself here.
We were just discussing there because we've got we've got Jez's nephew here, Jordan, that's doing the updating the stats for us. And we were just debating there whether that would go down as an unforced error or not. Have your opinions on that on the chat? So John going in off the black there, would you put that down as an unforced error? Like to
it's a harsh one, but
we'd like to hear everyone's view on that. I can tell you that Jez has stuck it down as an unforced error, which he's just completely sticking the boot into him. But no, it'll be interesting to hear your opinions on the stats. Does that go down as an unforced error or not?
Guys, we got any updates on the other tables?
Right? Yeah, I can bring you some. Okay, I'll read some out. For those of you that do want to check yourself, you can go to Q-Score. We are now using tablets, so as soon as they update the tablet, that updates live to Q-Score, so you can check that out for yourself. But yeah, I can tell you some results. Greg Batten has beat Sam Bircher 8-5. Dave McNamara has beaten Dave Kobe 8-6. Gillespie obviously lost to Petty 8-4. Alex Lewis lost 8-4 to Aaron Priest. Carl Sutton beat Tom Price 8-6. Louis Calcutt beat Shane Thompson 8-7. Probably one that's upset a few of the accumulators, that one. Callum Singleton lost to Partab 8-6. And then Simon Fitzsimmons is 5-2 up against Wayne Gardner. Lee Washbrook 2-0, Fred Tandy. And Danny Davies 2-1 against Ian Duffy. Seb Webb is 6-5 down against Matt Barcock. Gav Lomax 1-0, Josh Kane. Kevin George 4-3 up against Rob Warren. No disrespect, I haven't got a clue who Kevin George is. He's obviously a good player. He's in the third round of the winner's side and he's 4-3 up against Rob. Stefan Ricidi, Tom Barley are 7-all. Just while I was reading those out, for the sake of a couple of minutes, John's about to go 3-2.
Yeah, John's taking these out nicely. And plumb on the black. And that brings us to 3 frames all. free.
So Craig on the live chat has said that wasn't a forced error. Wasn't a forced error.
Yeah, it's a game of opinions, and it was hard to get any like sort of screw on that shot.
But
right.
I suppose it's one of them where it was an error, but was it an unforced error? That's a debatable one, that I think.
That's why we left it to you guys to decide, because we weren't too sure. But
Craig Waddingham's on. He says unforced errors a bit harsh there, Jez.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
Good shot.
Good shot. And that's opened the frame up now, and there's every chance John to go 3 frames over.
There is, but again, you've just got to make sure he keeps hold of the cue ball, because
he's got a bit of work at the top end.
The ball on the top right cushion's a little bit sort of smelly, isn't it? He needs to make sure he's good on it.
Yeah. He's going for the top one now, which
I think he's going to play a soft screw shot and try and land on that one. No. Answers on a postcard what he played there. He's not on nothing, is he?
I think he'll just get through maybe to the...
No, I don't think he can.
No, I don't think he can. I think he's tried topping it through to get on to the one on the rail. But obviously before the cue ball starts going forward, it does go back slightly, and he's just caught the red. So he's just going to play like containing shot. Well, he's left John a double, which if he makes, you fancy him like winning the frame from here. So yeah.
Yeah, and that is definitely the right shot. And I think the double is dead straight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see the one over the hole. You can get past the red. If you can get past the red, then I'll play the one over the hole.
He's looking at it because he's looking where he wants a white, so I think you can see it.
I think he has to just drop it in pretty much dead weight. Well, not dead weight, but just, you know, bounce the cue ball off the cushion a couple of inches.
And have a choice of 2 maybe to the middle?
Well, I think he then just, ideally he'd like a perfect scenario finish straight on it so he can top through and get rid of the one in bulk. But if not, then he's going to have to just take it last, isn't he? He's playing your shot.
Yeah. Yeah, shot.
Oh, what about
Great
this?
Shot. Played that so confidently.
Yeah, and so the shot is just drop this one in the left corner, just nudge the yellow over slightly, which then maybe nudged it over a little bit too far.
Still a bit of work.
I think there wasn't a bit of work had he even not nudged the yellow so far.
Yeah.
And then he can just drop the one in over the corner and just screw back to the side cushion. The fact that he's...
That's what I mean. Whatever way he goes now, he's got to play a shot to get on the black now.
Yeah, I think that was a bit careless to just nudge that so far.
He's got to play the bottom left first.
If the yellow is level with the spots, level with the top spot, then look how easy it is.
Yeah.
No way he's nudged it. I think he's going to have to go up and down in and out of bulk to get on the black. Or obviously take the yellow long if he leaves that angle. Perfect. That's exactly where he would have put it with his hand.
Yeah.
He missed one at the rail that was easy in this, and a couple of frames ago.
Yeah, good shot. And that's 3 frames all. Well, after John's like a few bits of misfortune, I'm sure he'll be delighted to be 3 frames all, Gareth.
Absolutely. This was a good shot.
That's a great double. He's played it so confidently.
And I like the way he played it. He's obviously topped at the right-hand side of the table to land on a choice of balls, one into the middle, one into the corner.
Yeah.
So you're happily, oh, here we go, just before that we can just check out some stats there that Jordan's worked out for us. That balls from the break, dry break, no break and clear, reverse dish as in you break dry, and then they've got one unforced error each, but I think John's is like half an unforced error at best.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's on there now, so we're not taking it off.
It's a bit harsh, but we'll, that's Jordan Graham, by the way.
Kick a man while he's down. So, how's life for you then, Jez? Obviously, we grew up playing through the England team together for a long time, and so what's life for you now? What do you do? And
well, life's good, mate. You know, I'm happily married, obviously, with Lauren, and you know, we bought our own house 2 years ago, and we're all settled, and yeah, life's great in that respect. And pool table, it's probably been one of my best years, really. To be fair, I think like I've been improving pretty much every year, to be honest. And then me and Darren this year, we got to the World Doubles final and just missed out. You know, 3-0 up and end up losing 7-3. And
you got to one of the finals of the big events here, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I played well, and I was a bit unwell that weekend, and you know, I was happy with the final. So, and then this weekend I've turned up, and I've had a bit of a muscle injury over the last 3-4 months, and it's just sort of played up again this week, so to speak. And you know, it has affected me. I'm not going to lie, but overall, my form in general has been really good, and I'm just a bit disappointed with, you know, a slight injury which has set me back a bit. But you know, I'm still here supporting the boys from Devon, and you know, stick around for the weekend. You know, because like I've said to everyone, it's a great venue to be playing at, and absolutely love coming to this place, Gareth. You know, it's the things you and Lee's doing with these tournaments are absolutely fantastic, you know. And well, Lee Grout as well, can't forget Lee, because he puts a lot of hard work in, and the bar staff, you know, it's fantastic.
Glad you enjoyed it. So I take it we'll see you on the series
Absolutely.
next year. And sorry, just to cut that off there, obviously Lakin has broke off there.
Oh no, just looking.
And he's potted 5 yellows, and he's basically he's got no shot on anything. And that's unbelievable. But he has got a huge break. I mean, he revs up at it like, I mean, if his cue was on his hand, he'd have a friction burn. And he revs up at it that hard, and he's absolutely smashed them all over the place, and that's just filth, to be honest, to have no shot on nothing. I mean, how can you pot 5 balls and have no shot on neither?
Wow.
And get this break again. Here we go. Look how quick. Well, that was a bit slowed down, so doesn't actually do it justice how quick he revs up at this. Oh, he's asked a question. That's what you call dangling the carrot, because I think he can get past the black to pot the red, can't he?
I'm not sure.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, just.
Can he?
I think he can, just by the looks of that.
Well, the way he's looking at everything else, it's like, oh, it's tight, isn't it?
Well, it's either that or the one near the right middle to cut back in to the same pocket, but other than that, he's got nothing.
It's actually a decent shot by Lakin if he can't get past the black.
Absolutely.
What about the one that's closest to the top cushion? Can he not cut that in? That's the one I'd be playing, I think.
Because I think.
Fancy him to pot that. The one that's closest to the top cushion, he'll pot that.
I think he's just looked at the pot angle of that one.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Oh no, he's playing your shot.
He's playing the one I said, yeah. Yeah, great shot.
Right in the middle. And in all fairness to John, how this match started, all credit to him because he's had to pot a couple of tricky balls here. So, given how the start of the match went, it's not easy.
No. And that one pot's just opened the frame right up. And does the red next to the yellow go past?
I don't think it does, which makes the finish just that. Obviously, if that went, they're unmissable. The fact it doesn't, it means you just got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
Can he play this with running side now and get on that bottom one?
He's asking a lot. He's come round.
He can get there now.
Yeah, now he can. Yeah, that's it. He's come down now. That's perfect. Oh, he's a little bit tight to the cushion to make it a touch awkward.
I think he's natural, isn't he, to just drop it in and drop to the side cushion.
He's perfect.
He's the right angle on the one in the middle, though. If he's high on it, then he's in trouble.
Do you play for it in the same bag now?
Probably do, don't you? Yeah, you probably do actually. Send it back for the same pocket. Yeah. I think it's May, Craig, the series starts. If you go to the players' Facebook page, the players' pool events, all the details are on there.
Yeah, I think Craig's been a bit unfortunate at this frame, but John still took a good finish out. But like I say,
he has, but he was
5 yellows,
yeah,
and leave nothing.
He was obviously really fortunate first frame to foot the black, so that sort of counteract.
Yeah. So John takes a 4-3 lead, and it's John to break. And good crunching break by John. And there's a bit of work to do, but he's got some options here. You want that? John's like to play a safety shot. In the way the way the Reds landed, it should be okay. John just had a good break, Gareth, and he didn't land on no ball really, so he's just played a safety shot, and Craig's played a safety shot back, and it's open table.
Yeah, and Might have time to go and make yourself a coffee with this frame. And saying that though, they do look a little bit scrappy, but it's only one shot in it. One shot and they won the Open, and he's left him in a bit of a tight spot here where it's not easy to hide the cue ball. Vince Enzo has said, anyone keeping an eye on the IPA? Farnsworth just won in the last 16 and literally didn't miss a ball, and 7-1 with 8 dishes. Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me. You know, that's what I was talking about. He is obviously one of, if not the best player in the world. Certainly there's an English 8-ball, there would be him, Boyle, and probably Phil Harrison. Tom Cousins would probably be, those would be your 4 at the minute. So he obviously is capable of that, and between them they have won the majority of events over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But I do agree with what Lee McShane has said there. Cloths do make a big difference on the break, and I do agree. Playing on the Simonis cloth, it does make the break easier, and the balls do just seem to fly everywhere easier than they do on the nap. I don't know the exact reason for that. I know the cloth, I know there's no nap on it, but they do just seem to break better on the Simonis. I don't know if you find that, Jez. You obviously played on the IPA on the. Yeah,
to be fair, I'll tend to break very well on the blue cloth. And
but I think what I mean is in general, I think it's easier to break for people on the blue cloth. Would you agree with that?
They do. I do feel they open more. But then again, the way the cloths are here this weekend in players, you know, they're playing so fast. They seem to be spreading.
Yeah,
look at Craig in the last frame, for example. 5 balls, you know, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. When they're playing like this and you've got a brand new cloth that's playing like this, then yes. But I mean, in general, you know, if you were to put the cloth side by side on a club table, and you were to break off on them for a month consistently, I just think they seem to break more. They seem to spread more on the blue cloth and the Simonis than they do in general on the you know, because it's hard to obviously keep club tables playing to this sort of standard, and it is hard, you know, to be honest, to keep any table even in tournaments to this sort of standard, you know, this.
But I just think in general though, Gareth, it's like the best breakers, whether they're on the blue cloth or the green cloth, like Tom's played, like you watch Tom break on the nap, is fantastic, and you see like Mark Boyle on the green, on the blue. Players are renowned for breaking well, and like I think like for as good as Mark Farnsworth is, he's probably got one of the weaker breaks, to be fair.
Well, to be honest, he's got one of the for
someone that's be polite.
No, well, for someone that's world class, he's got an absolutely horrendous break. That's the truth.
I was trying to be polite. Yeah.
Well, you know, he's the first person to say that, and I think that's not anything derogative towards him.
Oh no, absolutely not.
What that is, if anything, is it's a compliment, because he wins what he wins and does what he does, not being able to break.
I know.
So, you know, you'd have to say if he could break like you say, a Cousins or some of the other big breakers. Lakin hits the break huge. Yeah. You know, if he could break like some of the top breakers, then what sort of damage would he be doing then?
So the question is, like, Farnsworth's such a great player. Why can't he start breaking well and adapting to the way like a Cousins breaks, for example?
Well, I think that's a tough question, because that's like saying, well, why can't Roger Federer serve like Nadal, and why can't, you know, some people have certain areas and qualities that are better than others.
Yeah.
You know, and there's players out there, you know, like Karlovic, who's probably got the biggest serve ever in tennis. Well, why can't the others serve like him? Because, you know, obviously
they're not 8 foot tall.
but then why can't Karlovic hit his forehand with as much topspin as Nadal does?
Yeah.
You know, everybody has their own qualities, and you know, Farnsworth just struggles with the break somehow, and it's amazing, really. But
I just feel there, like, for such a good player, he could improve that slightly, surely.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's something that he's an intelligent bloke, and I'm sure that's something that he's going to work on.
Because I know he's tried to adapt into a break cue and everything, like, because I've spoken to him in the past about it, and whether it's working or not now, I've not seen him for like a couple of months, but like we say, it's amazing what he does for such, like, not a poor break by all means, but below like the top players like your Cousins and, you know.
Yeah, and the problem is, you know, with having a bad break, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not getting your chances at the table, and if you're playing against a top player and they're getting first go almost every frame, you can't possibly win.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the break is huge. It was a huge part of my game when I played English 8-ball. It was something that I worked on and something that I was renowned for having a big break, and I do think it's really important.
Would you ever consider? Did you ever consider playing the cut break yourself when you were playing like full-time 8-ball?
The cut break?
Yeah.
No,
cut break,
for me the cut break is just like swearing to me. It's just something I completely disagree with. I know that Mark Boyle has found something with the cut break that obviously he's potting a ball almost every time, but I think there's a huge skill in breaking and a huge skill in breaking from the middle of the table, hitting him with power and controlling the cue ball at the same time.
Yeah.
And I personally think you should have to hit the front ball. Now, whether that's you have to hit the front ball or you put the rule in of what they do in some of the American events, for example, in some of Dan Appleton's events in America, well, in all of those,
they
use the break box.
Or
well,
no, a square. Ooh.
So
Craig conceded that frame.
Concede, and this match is completely turned on its head. Not only in frame score wise, but in the luck wise.
Yeah.
And the guy who Vincenzo, who came on, he's actually just come on and said Farnsworth was using the cut break in the match. So, well, that explains. And as long as the cut break's allowed, then here we go. He's revving up. Look. Well, that time he missed. That time it was a bad break.
Yeah, he nearly scratched straight.
If you scratch straight any of one of the corners or the middles directly, then it's a bad shot. It means obviously you haven't flushed the front ball. But as long as the cut break's allowed, for somebody like Farnsworth, I think that it suits him to use it. He's obviously worked on it and can't quite get hold of the break. I do think it's a huge credit to him in the sense of the fact that, you know, like you say, for somebody that's so good, he has got such a bad break. But there's a few other people that have had bad breaks over the years that are obviously very good. Phil Harrison's never had a huge break. Neil Raybone had one of the worst breaks I've ever seen. At one point, he used to almost have he almost had the yips at the top of the backswing where he used to
back and just stop,
and then just stop, and he almost couldn't let go of the cue. You're talking there about, you know, certainly someone like Phil, who's obviously a multiple world champion and a prolific tournament winner.
Back in the day, did Carl Morris have a good break? Or?
It was decent. Yeah, it was decent. He used to stand up off it, Carl. He never had the chin on the cue. You know, he used to be maybe 6 or 8 inches up off the cue and used to sort of drive through it.
Keith never needed a good break anyway because he
just wanted him all together anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't want him apart.
Yeah.
But Tom Cousins has got one of the biggest breaks I've ever seen on an English 8-ball table.
Is it due to proper good cueing, would you say?
Yeah, it's good cueing, it's timing, and I think it's a combination of, you know, I could hit the break on an English 8-ball table and, you know, the cue ball would fly off at the table every single time if you put full power into it. I think having a good break at English 8-ball is a combination of hitting him hard and keeping control with the cue ball.
He's overrun this slightly.
No, he's okay.
No, he's good.
I think he thought he had as well. He jumped up off it.
I feel we needed that frame after the last one because if he lost that, the match could have got away from him quite quick.
Yeah, but this is the winner side, and it is race to 11, so it's not panic stations just yet. But I agree, the way that the momentum and the sort of luck had swung, his head looked like it could fall off.
Yeah.
That was our tournament sponsor there, Holcroft Reynolds.
Yeah, well, Craig is a momentum player, and if he does get going, he's hard to stop. Obviously, he won this event 12 months ago, and I know he hasn't been feeling too great the last couple of days. He's had the sniffles, and you know, it's we all know Craig likes a good drink, but he hasn't been drinking this weekend because he's been.
That's probably why he's got the sniffles.
Probably, but he's not been feeling great, and he's still battling that out, and he's trying to defend his title.
Well, I think within a couple of minutes this is going to be 5-all because
John's unlucky there.
Craig ain't missing these.
Nope. It's a pretty routine finish. He just needs to get on these bottom two correctly.
Emma's asked, is the score 6-4 now? Don't think it is. I think it is 5-4, is it?
It's 5-4.
It is 5-4.
Yeah.
You've been on a wine, Emma?
Our official adjudicator, Jordan, is informed us it's definitely 5-4. No pressure, Jordan. Does he just done this one to the bottom? Yeah, he's done it to the bottom left. He screwed it back. And that's not a nice angle. He's got a bit of work now. He should be okay, but he's got to play a shot now, Gareth. Or can he just drop it in and find the gap?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's got to play a shot. And he's played one.
Oh, he's played a great shot. Yeah, great shot by Craig. He just stuns up half an inch, he should be fine. Just to run through the two yellows. Just like that. Yep. And there we go, that's 5 frames all. And Craig to break. Yeah. Yeah. So I missed that. Did Craig break dry there?
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to just update the...
Gareth, have we got any updates on the other tables, mate? Please.
We have. Do you have an accumulator by any chance that you'd like to keep track of here?
No. Just for the viewers,
okay.
mate.
Hold on, let's bring it up for you. Okay. So, Lee Washbrook, 4-3 against Fred Tandy. Danny Davies, 6-2 against Ian Duffy. Dom Cooney, 3-2 against Ross Smith. Seb Webb is 10-7 against Matt Barcock now. Cav Lomax 2-all, Josh Kane. Kevin George 6-5 down now to Rob Warren. This match here 5-all. Jake Dillon Newlove 5-4 down to Matt Lawrenson. Max Nosko is 10-5 up against Danny Rathbone, and Elliot Combe is 1-all with Orphan Dad.
1-all, yeah. So still open table here. I'll go just
Dangle the carrot.
So Gareth, you've played you've won world titles at World Rules and Black Ball.
Yeah.
What rules do you prefer?
That's a good question. I prefer Black Ball rules for the fact of for taking the game forward, viewer friendly, the concept of the rules, the way that they're designed. I prefer Black Ball rules, and I think that it has to be along the lines of Black Ball rules or the American BC or the Chinese rules to take the game forward. You know, you can't have a frame on TV that can last an hour or can last 40 minutes. You just can't have it.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to go down the Black Ball route of rules.
Yeah, sorry to halt you there a sec, but with Black Ball rules, when there does come a fudgy frame, it can go on quite a bit as well.
Yeah, but you don't see it very often, and if you've got two good players playing, because there is always an attacking option, you know, it certainly doesn't happen anywhere near as much as World Rules. But so that's the reason why I would choose the Black Ball rules. But if you said to me you have to play a match and your life depends on it, I would choose to play World Rules. And the reason for that is because I think you can control a match a lot more at World Rules.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't got somebody winging the balls around the table. It doesn't matter what happens, you know, if the cue ball knocks something else in. And I just think it's so much easier to control a match and to, you know, to control the opponent. And I think the best player at World Rules wins a little bit more than he does at Black Ball rules. So yeah, that's my take on it. I think
because I personally feel that like Keith Brewer, for example, I still think he'd compete very well in like Black Ball rules, because some of the way the frames go, if he could learn the rules and adapt to them, but I still personally feel that he'd be really dangerous at these rules.
But sometimes covering a pocket is no advantage to you at these rules, and Keith Brewer would have a cardiac arrest if he couldn't cover a pocket.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know, but there's other clever shots. Why not so much covering a pocket, but getting it close in, nestled into a ball where you can.
I know what you're saying.
And also, for example, with the ruling of only 2 balls having to cross the blue spot line, for example, you could play a safe break, and Keith would be licking his lips at that.
So Vincenzo, no, you've got that the wrong way around, pal. Vincenzo says a poor player can beat a top player at World Rules, but the player will always win at Black Ball Rules. No, I completely disagree. It's the other way around. I think there's more chance of the second favourite winning at Black Ball Rules than there is at World Rules.
Yeah.
That's definite.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone's coming on saying you've got it the wrong way around. Vincenzo, Northern Irelands, 69 said he's got it. It is the opposite way.
Yeah.
It's easier to control the match and to control your opponent at World Rules. That's a fact.
But just highlighting on, say, Keith Brewer, who's played the old rules, for example. He's played World Rules. What's your personal preference on him if he was to play Black Ball?
If he was to play Black Ball, he wouldn't have enough firepower to live with the top players. He just wouldn't have enough in the locker to be able to deal with the players.
So Craig's gone into a 6-5 lead after being 5-3 down, was it, Gareth?
Yeah.
So reeled off 3 in a row.
John says spot on. I'm glad we're playing. Obviously, it's opinions, but
it is opinions, yeah, definitely.
I've won tournaments at both sets of rules, and
you're not a bad player.
That's my opinion.
We was having a conversation earlier on. Hayden Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Hayden in Jordan about Mark Selby. Right, he's obviously won the World Snooker. He's won the World Pool Championships. Would it ever come into his head about possibly winning every World Championship? Would he ever consider a 9-ball World Championship?
No, never. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like 9-ball. He doesn't like the concept of the game, and he's got nothing to prove. It's not like that would add anything to his CV. And on top of all that, I think he's fine earning $1 million a season on the table playing snooker.
Yeah.
So no.
But I just think it'd be pretty cool for someone to have won, because I dare say he's excellent at Chinese 8-ball.
No, he is. He's very good. Yeah, obviously he got to the final of the Chinese the Star event, and I've practiced with him a few times at my table here, and he's very good. He was brought up playing pool, so he's got he knows the patterns, which is the most important thing, which most other snooker players don't know the patterns, and obviously he's not going to miss many balls. So I think it's obvious that he's going to be good.
His shot making is one of the best.
Vincenzo, give up on it, pal. You're wrong. I'm not going into it anymore. You're completely wrong. Jamie Fay said, what do I make of people moving the ball after the black has gone down? No, Jamie, I would never even dream of saying anything. I understand in a big match with a referee, if the referee, they deem that those are the rules before, then the referee can pull it up. But at the end of the day, you're playing a tournament here with no referees, and it's just one of the unwritten rules, really, that, look, if the white's flying around the table 100 mile an hour, and you grab the balls and there's a chance of it going in, that's different. But when you're talking about the cue ball just trickling in the middle of the table, just about to stop, and you move the balls, you can't possibly call it for that.
No.
I mean, you know, it's just not the done thing, is it, Jez?
No, definitely not.
It's just pathetic.
It's unsporting behaviour, really. You know, you just don't do it.
I understand if the cue ball's flying around the table and, you know, he's moved it and blocked it and it could have gone in, you know, that sort of thing. But, you know, I would never call it. And if someone called it against me in a tournament like this, I'd be pretty fucking upset, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just changing the subject again slightly. Like, yeah, we talk a lot about pool of the weekend, and we're talking about like Darren Appleton never winning a world title. Why do you think that was?
No, he's never won a world title at English 8 ball.
English 8 ball, that's what I mean. Yeah, we're on about a pool weekend, English 8 ball. So, you know, why is it so dominant?
The only thing I can say that gives any explanation to that is it just shows how high the standard was back in those days that Darren Appleton never won a world title. Mick Hill played brilliant against him the one time he did get to the final.
Was it the only one final we got?
Yeah.
No, didn't tell we beat him in the final.
Oh, sorry, 2. Yeah, he lost to Salby in the final 2 also. But to be honest, that was a bad match. Darren played bad.
Yeah.
It's funny, I watched a few frames of that back the other day, actually. It came up somewhere on Facebook or something, and I watched a few frames of that back, and Darren did struggle in that match. But, yeah, the other one he lost to Mick, and Mick played really well.
Yeah.
And I think that just highlights the standard of the game back then. He won everything else 5 times over.
Yeah.
No disputing, obviously, he's an all-time great. Even the fact that he didn't win a world title, for me, you know, doesn't carry any weight when you talk about Darren Appleton.
Yeah. But yeah, I personally feel it's a real shame that he never won one because, you know, I love watching Darren. I love, you know, playing with him, and like I knocked about with him for a bit as well, and to see him not win one was a bit. It is gutting.
Yeah, he got
all the top boys won one, like yourself, Mick, Mellon, and Darren and Phil, obviously.
Yeah, it got to a point where it was just building and building the pressure every year he went there and didn't win one. It just obviously got harder and harder for him.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone was saying, you know, about him not winning one, and you know, Jimmy White have pulled him, whatever it was they were saying, and but I don't think Darren Appleton. Obviously, of course, he would love to have won a world title, but I don't think he needs to win one to prove how good he was, and obviously what he's gone on to achieve now proves that.
So in total, did you win 4 world titles, or it was 4, wasn't it? 3 and
I won 3 at the World Rules and 1 I won the very first IPA one, Black Bull one at the Lakeside. Yeah.
What year was your most challenging one? Whether your first world title, second, third,
the last
fourth?
one was the most challenging, just because I wasn't playing any English 8 ball and I hadn't played for a couple of years, having made the transition to Chinese 8 ball. So I actually played that using my snooker cue.
That's decent. Yeah.
So that was the most challenging, because to be off of it, I didn't have a clue where the cue ball was going. But to be honest, the other ones were the proper world titles, you know, and they were when everybody was playing, and when it was in the big arena at the Hilton. It was on Sky, and there was not only the 10 for winning, but there was like an exhibition contract with Embassy or with Foster's or 888.com, and it was big. So those are the ones that I class as, you know, that mean something special to me. You know, in the 3 world finals that I won, the first one I beat Malley in the final, the second one I beat Mick Hill, and the third one I beat Jason Twist. So, you know, obviously I didn't have no gimmies.
And what was your favourite one in winning all of them? The one you took most pleasure in?
The first one was the most special to me because, you know, my dad had recently passed away a few months before.
That's right, yeah.
So the first one was without doubt the most special, when I beat Chris in the final, just because of the circumstances of, you know, what had happened a few months before.
Because I remember speaking to you at one point, and you said it is like massive pressure off your shoulders and everything once you won that one.
Yeah, because as I said with Darren, everyone was saying, ever since I was a kid that, you'll be world champion one day, but that doesn't win you a world title. That just adds pressure. You have to go out there yourself and put the work in and ultimately win the tournament yourself. So. Adam Kirk said, was Darren any good at snooker? Yeah, Darren was very good at snooker, actually. I practiced with him loads of times at snooker. Yeah, he was quite good. Craig Waddingham, yeah, I remember that match, Craig. I played you in the semis of one of the World Championships. I don't remember the score, pal, but I remember playing you.
And just giving a few of the viewers like an insight to yourself, like who are your biggest like inspirations in the pool and your idols? I know you're a massive lover of Jason Twist.
Yeah,
same as myself.
Yeah, I am, and I think a lot of the players have got huge attributes. I grew up as a young kid practicing and learning from Lee Kendall.
That's what I'm getting at. We see these like player profile sheets and everything, but like it'd be nice to see what you think of a few.
Yeah, I know. I grew up learning from him. I'm surprised I don't just want to cover the pockets every 2 seconds now, to be honest. No. But no, I grew up, practicing and looking up to Lee, and at the time Lee was one of the best players in the world. There was him and Brewer that. So I learnt a lot from Lee, but I think with anyone you can take bits, and there was bits that I used to learn from Lee, and then as I progressed, there was bits that I thought. I think the main difference with me and certainly some of the older generation of players is I grew up playing world rules from almost the very start, so my brain wasn't programmed to the old rules where their brain was. So like the Brewers and the Kendalls and those sort of people that grew up playing, it was always just being ultra safe, ultra security. They wouldn't take a ball off the pocket, it was just painfully negative. And that transitioned into world rules and the way they played world rules, which, in my opinion, was a huge downfall to them. And I have that conversation with Lee regularly now, that he takes the finishes out different to me. And I think a big difference to that is because his brain is programmed to how he used to play the old rules. So I think you take bits of positives from lots of different people. And that's how I used to learn, I used to sit at the tours when I was young, and I used to sit there, and even when I'd been beat, I used to sit there and watch all the top players play. I used to sit there and watch Twist play. I used to sit there and watch, Appleton play, and that's the way you learn. And sometimes I look at it and think, I'm not sure about that one. Other times I look and think, wow, I never spotted that one, or I like the way he hits the ball. And I think that's what you have to do, and try and take bits of positives from everybody.
Yeah. Over the years, have you because I've noticed your cueing is like immaculate now, but have you tinkered with it over the years?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, I do. I work on it, especially now playing the Chinese 8-ball, where the technical side of the game is so big. I think at English 8-ball you can get away with it, especially at the World Rules with the 2 shots. Just flick your ball down the rail, leave it with the pocket. And, you can be feeling horrendous on the cue and still get away with winning matches at English pool. Where Chinese 8-ball you can't. So technically,
you've got to cue every ball.
You have
Chinese
to,
8-ball.
yeah, and that's something over the last 5 years of playing Chinese 8-ball that I've massively worked on. And I think it's something that I'll always work on. I come into the club even now, and I'm not tinkering, but I'm looking at how to,
just perfect it.
Yeah, just trying to get things right.
And you're still doing that now?
Yeah, I still do that now.
You're still doing it now, yeah.
Jackal, why would I be drinking that day? No, I wasn't drinking, and no, nobody's come forward to challenge me for the 100k at Chinese 8-ball. And you spelt my name wrong as well.
Oh, and Craig's on straight off there. And just as Craig was getting on top of the match, he just let one fly and gone straight into the middle and give John a great opportunity.
this is something for me that needs changing at Black Ball rules, the break-off rule when you're going off.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I just think that, I think that now you've just got a complete free shot. So, for example, over this top right corner, if the red was over the pocket and that was a yellow, you can then just take the red off the pocket and then go yellows.
Yeah.
I think you should just have one visit. I think you should have one visit ball and anywhere on the table anyway, all the way through. But I think you should just have one visit now, and similar to like the world rules break where you just have ball behind the line and you just have one visit, because now you're going off, and even those, well, they're not tricky, but even what you might as well just rack these balls up, because John with his free shot is never ever ever going to miss this finish.
Yeah. We've speculated back in Plymouth, in Darren McVicker and Paul Bolson, we spoke about the break shot in any format of pool being a free shot. What's your thoughts on that? Just being a free shot and then carry on.
What was that again? Sorry, Jez. I was reading the comments.
Breaking.
Yeah.
Just being a free shot and then just carrying on from the break.
No, I think with the rules you can just make the rules common sense. So
where I'm trying to say, take the element of luck out to an extent by you've got a free shot on break, you break off and you're at the table the following shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you just get your go.
You get your go, and and if you make a suicidal mistake by losing the cue ball, then that's bad play. That's But I quite like that idea of having a free shot, breaking off, and then just dishing.
Vincenzo just can't let this go. He still thinks that someone's more chance of winning at the lower ranked players, more chance of winning at Black Ball rules. You're wrong, pal. Trust me. We've been over and over it. We can't keep saying it, mate. You're wrong. Trust me. You can control the match much easier at world rules. Lee McShane says, do you think the top players back in the day, when all the Daz and Mick and that sort of era are better than the ones nowadays? Look, the top players are all great. Obviously, the Mick Hills, the Darren Appletons, the Chris Mallions, the Jason Twist, they're obviously special players that have achieved big things. So it's hard to compare anyone against them, and no one's achievements, compared to those. And then the second part of his question is, do you think that the overall standard was better back then? And without a shadow of a doubt, the overall standard was miles better back then. Miles better. And I think that's reiterated by just telling you the fact that Darren Appleton never won a world title.
And I think we forget to mention someone a couple of players in particular, like Lee not winning a world title, and Keith.
Yeah.
As much as it's Darren not winning one, I think Keith and Lee, I think it's such a shame. Both of them.
Not everyone can keep winning them, mate.
You can't keep winning them, obviously, but when Keith's been so dominant, and then Lee's been is it Lee been in Catlin for now what 20 odd years maybe?
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying is that they've been near the top of the game for such a long time.
Yeah, but back in the day when we were playing, Jez, even in the juniors, as you remember, it was tough. Even the other teams, they all had the best. They all had the best players. Where, with all due respect, now some of the other countries, they've got the bus drivers playing for them, and the manager has a game every now and then, and it's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's but it is true.
Yeah.
So some of the other teams, it's come on, it's.
No, it is tough.
But the international scene back then was obviously it meant something. I remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Really, back then, you know, you had Lee and Kendo, well, Lee and Keith, sorry. It's like, without like the likes of you, like Darren was probably just like emerging on the scene, and I just thought they might have got one in then type thing, but it is what it is, and I've not really spoke to Lee because obviously he plays EPA, world rules and everything, and what's his sort of goals in the pool world still? Because I
Who's
know
that, sorry?
Lee.
Oh, yeah.
He's running tournaments now, which to me have been the best tournaments that I've been to in the last couple of years. And what's his like ambition now then?
I don't know. I think he's just at a point now where he's saying that you know, I think everybody's had enough of the state of the game, and that's on both sides. And he just wants to do something that is worth playing for. So I suppose, you know, he sees his future as promoting, and he's obviously very good at it. So, and he's in it for the right reasons. You know, he doesn't need to be running tournaments to earn a couple of quid here and there. You know, he's got enough money that he doesn't need to be, you know, trying to nick a few quid in. He's doing it purely just because he wants to do something that's never been done before, and to give the players something that he's felt ever since. You know, I remember practicing with Lee when we were kids, and we wanted there to be tournaments for this much the winner, they wanted to be tournaments for that much the winner, and you know, he's giving an opportunity for that to happen.
I said earlier on in commentary, I personally think that like what Lee's done is one of the best things in pool. Seriously, what he's put on, you know, everything he puts on brand new cloths each event. The streaming he's got going, he's now improved to the the tablets per table. He's improved at every event, and he's got so much passion for it. And I just, you know, I play on the IPA, and I think Kev's done a great job, but I think Lee's just like he's passionate to succeed, and I think he's doing a great job. Well, back to the pool anyway. Craig's on the finish to go 8-5 up.
It's a big frame, this. 8-5, 7-6, and
John's head seems to have dropped a little bit here as well.
Within a minute, I think it is going to be 8-5, and Money Making Lakin's on his way to, well, probably halfway on his way to defending his title.
Yeah.
Can just give you an update on some results. Seb Webb beat Matt Barcock 11-9. Gav Lomax, Josh Kane 4-all. Rob Warm beat Kevin George 11-5 from 5-4 down. Stefan Rosidi beat Tom Barley 11-10.
11-10. Close game.
Matt Lawrenson 8-5 against Jake Newlove. Max Nosko beat Danny Rathbone 11-6, and Elliot Coombe is 4-2 down against Arfan.
Well, he's over on the.
There's a load of other results on there, but to be honest, I can't be bothered to read them all out. Just go to qscore.com and you can look at them all on there.
Well, he's got to play a big double here now. Gareth, he's just kissed the black by accident. And big shot. But I fancy making this. Routine double. Great shot.
He's got a lot of support as well, Craig.
Yeah, I think Craig takes a lot of flack off people, but I think he's a good lad at heart, mate.
No, I think he does take a lot of it, and it was sort of misinterpreted what I said before, and it was mainly just due to the final last year when he played the young lad, and
Sam,
it was more just a couple of Craig's friends that were just basically shouting across the table, and he was a young kid and he was a bit intimidated. It was nothing to do with Craig. It was his friends, and I actually like Craig. I think he's a great character, and I think he's great for the game.
He's good for the game, yeah.
I don't really know him too well off the table, but I see some of the things that he writes and says, and he is a funny guy, and he is right with a lot of the stuff, in my opinion, the stuff that he says. And
oh yeah,
he is a character, whether you like him or you don't.
He's like Marmite, basically.
He is a character, and he does stand there at the bar doing Jaeger bombs in between matches, but oh dear,
John's.
It's all going west.
He got kicked in off then, yeah. Yeah, it's massive. Ooh. Where you yellows all day long. Yeah, you just play this one down, yellows, and way Craig's playing, it's 9-5 for me.
Oh, he's gone reds. Yeah, I suppose either way it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah. Just reds is less balls to pot.
Yeah. Played a nice can on there. He's looking good. Yeah, going back to Craig, he's like, he is a character, and yeah, he likes his drink, but he's such a talent with it as well, He's like.
Well, that's why he carries it off, isn't it? Because he backs it up as well, He wins events, so.
He does.
You can't get away with being like that when you're not winning events.
He won players last year, and then he had a bit of a barren spell, but then. He's coming back again 12 months later, and he's looking good again for the title. To me, I think he's going to take some stopping. John Rose, he's had some great results. He demolished Mike King this morning. 11-6, playing really well, and Craig's just got an aura about him. And although he's been feeling a bit rough this weekend, he's looking good. He's pausing a bit there. He's not too sure on this shot though. I don't know if he's thinking of like nipping it back past the yellow.
That's what he wanted to play. He's just come on a bit of the off angle. I don't think he's got enough angle to bang it on and off the cushion. I think he's got no option but to play. But it's not a straight screw back, is it? He's got to play like a delayed, little screw. And
if he's coming off the cushion, it could go wrong.
As long as he gets in the lower end of the table, though, the black goes in all four pockets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You didn't get the spin.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's just all right.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, I thought he come a bit short.
Yeah, it was a. I understand why he took his time with that.
Yeah,
he had to make sure he got it right.
Yeah, he's played it well. For a split second, I thought he's an inch too short, but he's perfect.
Hold on.
For the viewers, please.
Okay. Greg Batten. No, we already got those, haven't we? Right. So, ones that in play are Dom Cooney 5-all, Ross Smith. Josh Kane 5-4, Dav Lomax. Orphan Dad 5-2 against Elliot Kuhn. Matt Lawrenson 8-5 against Jake Newlove. Greg Batten's just started against Sean Sharkey and he's 1-0 up.
1-0 up, yep.
So is that good news or bad news?
No. I've got a couple pound on it, but you know, nothing too serious.
It sounds serious to me because you've asked me 15 times.
No, purely for the viewers, Gareth. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, purely. And also, we'll be carrying on tomorrow. We've got Jed Ronan in the house taking bets, and he'll be here for the rest of the evening. And tomorrow, I believe, Gareth, is he here tomorrow?
Yeah, he's here. Yeah, all weekend.
He's all
Bets
weekend.
right down to the final. Yeah.
So if you come on down to Players Pool and Snooker, you know, Lee Kendall's got various drink offers on. So feel free. And there's good atmosphere in there tonight. There's plenty of people watching. Anyway, it's 9-5 to Craig Lakin, and he's about to break. And his break's been massive so far, Gareth.
Just watch how quick he revs up to it.
The revs are massive.
And he's hitting it right hand side.
Boom.
That time he did get right hand side on, you see, cue ball spin. He still made one though.
Yeah, he made one. And yellows look half tidy. Just got to try and drop this in the middle, and he's played it. Yeah, he's a great shot. And the way Craig's playing, I can't really see him missing here. He's got a little bit of work, but I think he's a bit straight here. I thought he might have had a bit of an angle to like come off the cushion and bump into the red, but I think he's a little bit too straight. So he might just choose to dolly this one into the middle and then play Hugo.
Yeah, because if he plays it with a wider angle from sort of the angle where the yellow is over the other middle, then he can sort of just flick the red away. And then the other red does pass the other yellow does pass the yellow on the top cushion. I think that's the way.
I personally feel that the percentage shot might be here, just putting the yellow over the O.
I think he heard you.
Yeah, I think that was right. Good shot. Because he wasn't guaranteed after potting the one in the middle, then potting that one that he just covered the O with. It just wasn't no guarantee. So by playing that, he's still in control, really. I know John's got like he's got 7 balls left, but
yeah, he's got half a sniff at the finish though.
Would you feel that red on the left goes down past?
No, I don't. I think he could play the plant first shot.
Yeah. This could turn into a bit of a tactical battle here because Craig's just going to bump this over the O. Or, well.
I think that's clever from Craig. I think he's purposely played it like that to stop him playing the red down the rail to cover the pocket.
I think John will just near the bottom right now. I think he'll just cut this ball along the rail and just get the black ball covered. He'll just like drag his shot in and just cover the black ball pocket. Oh.
I think Josh Kane is just about to take a bit of a stranglehold in the match there. I think he's clearing to go 7-4. So just to let you know that the picture is going to cut out literally just for a few seconds. There's a bit of an error, so. Apologies about that. Computer just packed in for a few seconds there, so we had no pictures, but it's back on now. Obviously, back onto the live chat. That's just been a bit of the story of this match for John. Just everything's fallen just a little bit awkward. That's gone into an offset plant.
Sorry, guys, I've just been away for a few minutes. What's going on in this frame?
Oh, you haven't missed a lot.
No? Craig Yellows will take it.
Not sure about that one from Craig.
No.
I think he's basically just said, I'll concede.
It's not a set plant, is it?
It's not, no. But I think he can play it off it, can he?
He's tried and he's missed. It's probably made it worse.
Well, no, at least now we can pop the one over the hole and go into it, can't he?
Yeah. What is it, a slow double to the middle pocket?
Or play it off the red.
I think he'll be playing a slow double.
Yeah, but slow double off the red.
No, he tried straight.
I think it was a
he
big
played
target.
a bit hard, to be fair.
I think it was quite a big target off the red.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, to be fair, yeah. But John's still got a bit of work to do. It's not straightforward, the way those three reds are. I know they look like quite comfortable and easy, but I don't think they are.
Well, if he wants to just
play good snooker,
guarantee winning the frame, he could just pop the one over the hole, bump it to the rail, and then just wedge him in behind it, and you've won.
Yeah, just be patient, and he should be okay. But having said that, guys, I think if he does pop the one over the O, he cannot lay a snooker. He'd leave a double or a treble. We'll see on this shot what he's going to play. Let's try going behind the... Yeah, good shot. No, it's a bit of pace.
Revving up.
Bit of pace involved.
Hold on to your hats.
Oh, here we go. What was it?
Oh, it's all gone on.
It's all gone on.
I just heard Craig say to John, then I thought I'd got the skill shot. But you have to put your own ball first, though, Craig.
Yeah.
The double skill shot. Jesus, that'd have been sick, wouldn't it, if it had potted the yellow and they'd have finished there?
Yeah. That's the thing with these rules. You can sometimes give it a clout, and
something like that can happen. That was my point at World Rules. Obviously,
absolutely.
it can't, can it?
Yeah, no, it can't. John's got to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, it doesn't sit behind the black.
Exactly.
That's why I think he's played a bad shot, not to be high on. If he was high on the plant, and he just drops it in dead weight and he's fine.
He seems to be like going into the black or screwing up like top side. I think he's a bit short. He's got to play a good shot now. Yeah, good shot, John. He's played that well. And he's in perfect position for the black. It's all right, Craig leaking a break, and he's leading 9 frames to 6. Oh, and there's a great break. Ooh. The yellow and red.
Yellow's just spoiled the party there, hasn't it? If that doesn't sit there, the black, not sure the black goes either, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the black does go, mate, to be fair. It's just those 2 balls at the top of the table. Get yourself one.
Jez is just buying around for everybody. No. See, I don't think the black went there, and that's why he's tried to play the yellow off the black. And I think he's been quite fortunate.
Sorry, guys, I messed that up. What did Craig go for in the end? Sorry, what did Craig go for in the end?
Yeah, the black obviously didn't pass, so he's tried to play the yellow off the black, and
right.
He's just got it obviously completely wrong, but I think he's been a little bit lucky because the yellow doesn't go across the back cushion.
Yeah.
He's going to play into it now with left-hand side. Shot.
Yeah, good shot.
Not easy though.
It's not easy. It's a couple of key positional shots. The awkward one, obviously, in bulk. I can't see how he's going to get onto that one. That's the awkward one, getting on to the top one.
You don't get on it now? Not through the gap?
Well, I think he could have potentially have screwed it off like 2 cushions and come round, but
I think he had a natural angle where he was before he just potted that ball to pot this and drift through the gap.
But I think
now he's got to play like a nasty little half stun shot, doesn't he, to get the gap? It's not natural.
It's not natural, and if he goes too far, he's in trouble.
Well,
and also the corner pockets.
If he's short, he's in trouble as well because he's going to run into the red.
So there's
No, it's horrible.
A lot of work to do here.
Right, I got it. So you pot the one into the middle and you push the red away down to the bulk line.
Got ya.
Then pot the one into the left middle and then get the cue ball back to where it is and then get on it last. Because then there's no reds in the way.
Good shout. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
See, it was a nasty little, like, punchy.
You decelerated slightly there.
Yeah, it wasn't a nice shot, that, though. It looked easy, but the angle was horrible.
And he's rushing this.
I think he missed a trick there. Now. I think if he goes my way, bumps the red out of the way, just gets him out of the way, he's got that whole side of the table that's free.
Yeah, absolutely. But he just decelerated slightly. And now he's got to be careful. He don't want to rush nothing because it's a massive frame. He doesn't want to lose. So what do you think is best here now then? He's playing this, but I think he's got to be playing the attacking shot, surely.
I think he's just thought. I think he just decided that he couldn't get the finish.
Just took his medicine.
Yeah,
and back.
He just thought, I can't possibly get these.
So what sort of shot do you think Craig's eyeing up here? Oh, here we go. He's no, he's still unsure. Bit like myself, I'm not sure what he's going to be playing. What would you play yourself here?
I think the reason he's playing the one into the left corner is he knows that obviously if he plays it pocket weight and misses it, he gets the pocket for the black and probably pushes the yellow to the top cushion.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get the pocket, then he loses the frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's definitely the shot. And to be fair, even if he doesn't get the pocket, I know what you just said, but he might not leave a shot anyway. He might leave the white near the right rail and leave no shot anyway. Because he's got to be pretty precise to leave the yellow on the cushion.
Yeah, but to get the yellow to the top cushion and the white to the right rail, he can't get both because he can't hit it hard enough, can he?
Oh, I think he's only got to tap it. Natural weight.
I think he's hitting the yellow quite full though, isn't he?
I don't know, mate.
I think he's hitting that yellow quite full.
No, he's playing different shot anyway, so that's that out of the question. Well, there's an opportunity for John, obviously, because if he cuts it in with a
they all go. It's just whether he can get the cue ball where he needs it to. The yellow that he's covered over the middle does go to the right corner past the red.
Exactly.
It's just getting the cue ball where he needs it. I think he's got to play it with the tracer side and
Tracer
maybe
right hand side.
go into the red or the yellow, or he can play the double.
Well, that's another opportunity, definitely.
He's going to play the double. He's eyeing it up. He's going to play the double, stun off the top rail and land on the bottom one.
Oh, he's playing a massive double. He played a good double earlier on in the match.
Well,
Yeah, he's confident.
what about this for a
Great
shot? That's brilliant.
Great shot.
That's the best shot he's played this in the whole match. Really good.
Yeah.
He's left a perfect angle. Just plays to tracer side just to get dead straight.
Yeah.
And he needs to be straight.
He's played 2 great doubles in this match. And
He's got to play this with a little bit of side.
Yep.
What's
he done there? What was that?
I don't know.
Did he just like rush it a bit, or he didn't cue it?
It was one of them where he had to just dig it a little bit, didn't he? I think he was obviously scared of it flying off the top rail, but he's overcut it. If anything, you know, even if the white's on the bulk line, he's still going to pot the yellow.
Yeah. Tonight, me and the double? Oh, right, okay. You shut the window? Wake me up.
If he has to get the yellow like over the pocket, or certainly to the middle of the pocket, then Sir Craig can't play the same shot that he just played. Maybe just play it as a little double kiss. I don't like playing it like that, because you're just leaving him the shot to play this every time. So just flick off the left edge of it again.
Does the red near the yellow, does it possibly go in off the one in the middle?
No.
No, it don't. Well, I think Craig's all in here. He's going to play the one near the yellow, near the middle. And it's a frame-winning shot, Gareth. I think he's got to play it. presuming it passed the one near the bottom right.
I was thinking you meant to play it into the black pocket.
No, sorry, mate.
Oh yeah, he can play it into the right. He can, because it's a free go, isn't it, at the one in the right? Because you can get the cue ball in the middle of the top cushion. It's a free go.
That's exactly what I mean.
Oh, he's playing the shot I said though. He's playing it into the left corner.
He is.
He's missed it.
He's overcut it. And he's landed okay.
Well, I think
he's in control.
I think we give it the benefit of the doubt there that he hasn't played it. I think that he's played to overcut it and played to knock the arrow to there. I think that's a really good shot.
He's probably played the right shot, yeah.
I think that's a good shot.
Yeah, definitely.
And John's in, well, he's in bits.
He's in spot above here.
That's a good shot there from Craig. I think he hasn't played the pot.
I think John, I think he's got to attempt the big double and screw back into bulk, and then maybe just chance disturbing the black and red. But I think that's his only shot, because he can't be like touching up to the black and red now, because he's just fighting a losing battle. So he's got to try something special, which it's got to be the double. Double screw back. He's made a couple of good doubles in this match, so I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a great double, screws back in the bulk.
Oh, he's got to really get hold of it to get it though, to straighten it up.
I know he has, but I think it's the only shot. He can't keep.
What about kick it off the back rail right hand side, kick it into the corner and kick the black out with the white?
I just think that's enough. I just don't think that's a shot. What he's just done there. He's just making it more awkward. Because obviously he could have attempted a double, but now he's got no shot on the. That pocket's totally like sealed off. So he's just been. Now Craig's obviously going to just pot this in the middle now, and then hope to disturb the black and red, I feel.
Sort of half got himself back in the frame here though, John.
Yeah, I don't think Craig's going to pass on this opportunity though, to be fair, because he's got to play the one near the yellow now. So, and then I think he's, yeah, Craig's nature, I think he's all in. Where he's gone for the bottom pocket and he's nailed it. Ooh. So, what do you do here, guys? Because if you cover the bag, you're not really doing nothing, are you? You're still behind in the frame.
I think that's the world rules mindset of John there, but.
Because world rules,
yeah, but
you are sort of still in with a chance. In these rules, I don't think you really got a chance now.
What was his option?
Well, this is what I mean. This is where you got to go sometimes. Unfortunately, I know it's an old cliche, crash bang wallop, but
yeah, but he couldn't knock them both out in the same shot, could he?
I know, but that there's just really not leaving nothing now.
I just think he's better off like this than lashing and. I agree that it's not.
I disagree to an extent, because I just think that he's just got to play good snooker and he's potting the yellow over the hole. Whereas
he's not going to not hit the yellow though, yeah.
Well, I disagree, because he's in a.
Well, now he can get the black out.
I just feel that
now he can snick the yellow and kick the black out. He couldn't. It was the right shot for him to cover the pocket, because it was just committing suicide the other way. I think he can snick this in. He can and just make sure that he makes contact with the black and kick the black down. And he's half back in the frame. So he's back in the frame now.
It's just one good snooker though, Gareth.
Yeah, and red.
This is the thing though, mate. Because
but red's a favourite. I understand red's a favourite, but if he'd have potted the ball like you said, he couldn't have possibly have won the frame. But
But he's just leaving himself open for this. So that's the trouble. I feel he was just like sort of prolonging.
But he can't keep getting this. If he hits them, it's not easy to keep getting these snookers from where the balls are.
No, I understand that. But it also, Craig's, with these rules, Gareth, he's got the opportunity of playing the skill shot. And
Yeah.
Craig's such a good player, he will like...
Yeah, but what chance did he have of playing anything? I'd either potted it.
This is what I mean, it's
I think he's going to play the skill shot now.
yeah.
But at least he's making him play a shot now. Well played.
Shot.
Good shot.
Great shot. But this is what I'm saying, in these rules, sometimes you feel a bit more obliged to actually force something. Because
Yeah, there's forcing something, and then there's like...
I know what you say, suicide. I know what you say, suicide, but...
Wanted a miracle.
With all due respect, I just feel that, like, covering the O, when he's only got one ball to play with, he's struggling. He's fighting an uphill battle. But having said that...
But it gave him a 10% chance as opposed to a none. And you'd rather 10 than none.
But having said that, Craig's gone into a 10-6 lead, and
yeah, that frame's just sealed the match, I think, especially given the fact that John had a couple of chances there, and John sort of slumped back in his chair, like half asleep there, and yeah, it's mentally as well as on the scoreboard, that's a big blow.
And you think Craig's got like at least 3 breaks from now. You cannot really see him passing.
Watch how fast Craig revs up at this. Look at this, look. No.
He went overtime there.
He hits it well. Hasn't made one this time, but all you can do is hit it as well as you can. And
yeah.
Play the plant first shot, and then play the other plant into the middle onto the black.
Yeah.
With the other red.
Definitely. Yeah, that's come out nicely. He might just select pot the red, like lower the blue spot, and just go into the black and red. No, I think he's pretty perfect to play that shot. I'd be surprised if he doesn't play that. Yeah, he's looking at it now. It's one of those, and when you're behind, nothing ever seems easy, and it just seems to be like very hard work.
Yeah, you land like little wrong angles all the time. And
because I can picture him now playing the one just below blue spot, kissing into the black, nudging the yellow, but the black one tight on the cushion. It just going awkward.
Yeah, that's why I like the first shot that I said of just playing the plant like as a little stun or a little stun run through, and then just playing it a bit slow, and then playing the other one onto its second shot.
Yeah. Well, I'm presuming that red to the middle must go.
He hasn't played a very good shot there. He played on the one to the bottom right, and then he would have played it next shot, but he's not played that well.
Yeah. He's got to play some sort of cannon on those two. I've just got a bit of luck, and he's got to play a cannon. I'm very surprised he didn't play it on the last shot, because he seemed perfect angle.
I've got it again, Jez. You put the one in the middle, bump the other one past the black spot, then put the one in the corner, then play it off it.
What was he like?
So you put the red in the middle.
Yep.
You bump the red to there, further down, just to the left of the black spot. Leave the cue ball there. Then you then pop that one, come over, and then the one that's there, you then play in off it, and you've still got this one.
So. Yep. Yeah, good. Yeah.
So just to, if you didn't understand what I meant there, so the one that was the one that he was closest to, you just flick that one into the middle, and now the one he's landed touching, you just bump that over to the black spot, or over past where his hand is. You then put the one into the right corner, and then you then play the one that you've bumped in off the ball, and you've won. The only thing I can think he's going to do now is play the cue ball into it.
And he had that opportunity about 3 shots ago, Gareth, and that's why I'm surprised he didn't play it then.
And obviously it's better to play it as early as possible, because then you've got other balls to land on rather than...
More to play with, yeah, absolutely.
Well, rather than 1 or 2 balls if he plays the pot on this one.
Because there's every chance now he's going to pop both reds. The black's going to go on the cushion, and he's going to leave a very tricky shot. So, because he's got to play it dead weight, pretty much. He can't be playing it pacey, surely. Oh, he has. I missed it. But yeah, I think John's just suffering a little bit at the moment, and John's a class act. He's what year was it? 2012 world champion, John?
Not sure. Yeah, something around that.
And for anyone to win a world title is great stuff. And he's just played a bad few shots throughout this match, and that's been the telling point throughout the match. And Craig's been Craig's nature of play is forever putting pressure on his opponents, I feel. Very attacking. He's just got to touch up there and play a good, put Craig going for it.
I only presume that he can play the yellow inside and off the knuckle and off the back of the red. Yeah. I know he's into him here.
Going into, oh God, what's going on here? Wow, that's a great shot. 4-1. Wow.
But you have to have that skill shot rule in any set of rules. Yeah. You have to have it.
And sometimes fortune favours the brave, and he's gone all in, and he's cleared a pocket and another pocket and left it pretty nice. Just got to play a good drag shot now.
Yeah, and you always drag these just because it allows you to hit the cue ball harder.
These are one of my worst shots, dragging these.
You drag it because it allows you to strike the cue ball a little bit firmer. So there you see, you dragged it.
I'm one of the worst draggers, and Craig's just done the same.
One of the worst draggers.
Oh, I am,
I've
mate.
heard that before.
I'm terrible. But
Craig don't mind though. He just gets down and drops them in like they're over the
Great
hole.
Shot. And he's got his support there. Well done.
And although obviously John Rowe is better than that, and he didn't play great there, but Craig played solid, and off the back of everything that I've seen so far, the defending champion's just gone favourite for the event.
Yeah, he played very well there. He didn't miss too much. Well, he didn't miss anything really, and
the manager's just going over to him now to tell him that he's only allowed 10 Jaegers tonight because he's going to be on in the morning.
No, apparently he's on no Jaegers because he's feeling a bit rough, and he's been on water all day. He's on antibiotics, and so it's good to see Craig can play whether he's
manager there is just
sober or drunk. He can play regardless.
Telling him to take himself off and get tucked up in bed.
Yeah. Has he got another game tonight?
I don't know on the winner's side, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe
He might have one more possibly, or he might be through to tomorrow.
I think they're just going to cut to get a quick interview with Money Making, so we'll leave you with that.
Yep, thank you.
Like 11-6, good win over John there.
Yeah, really happy with the result. John's a good player, so I knew I had to play well going into the game.
Yeah.
I think I played pretty well overall.
You played well. I think John made a few mistakes, which is helped you on the way to the victory.
Yeah, it was more, I think, his Cuba when he kept running out of position a few times, left himself tough pots.
Yeah.
He missed a couple of balls that were hard, which could have been match turners as well. So
Well, it does do it. You missed a few balls and you pushed on from that stage. So.
yeah, luckily I managed to run away with it.
So we're still undefeated.
Yeah, hopefully.
So last year you didn't lose a match. The double still on. Think you can do it?
I've got as much chance as anyone else. Not feeling the best, so.
You got a bit of a chest infection.
Yeah, I've had a chest infection. I've been struggling really bad. Like can't sleep either. So, but if I keep winning, I'm not going to moan. But it's hard work.
Jaeger bombs are good for chest infection.
the tablets I'm taking, if I drink on them, then it will just cancel them out. So
Right.
I can either be dying or drunk. So
Or drunk driving.
yeah.
Well, no, best of luck, mate. You're in Money Night on £500. And if you
Brilliant.
win your next one, you're through to the quarterfinals.
Cheers, Lee. Thank you.
Well done, mate.